or if it's too high or too low, or maybe give you direction on how to get a better answer, and your number of tiles. I'll tell you if it's too high or too low. But right, let's talk about the volume. So the volume of it's three-dimensional, so we're really talking about a prism such as this, where we have a length, a width, and a height. Now our pool is definitely 25 meters long. If we looked at it, it was 25 meters this way. It's 12.5 meters across, I think. And then we have encountered the problem of the depth of the pool. There's two ways to deal with this. You can do maybe an average depth. I think that would be the easiest way to do it. And you can just say the average depth of the pool is somewhere between 1.8 and 1.25. The average depth of the pool. And if you use that, you can just do 12.5 times 25 times whatever number you pick as that halfway mark, if you want. Yeah, maybe about 1.5, 1.6. You got to think about this more shallow end than deep end as well. So maybe you can bring that. So whatever you pick, let's just say around 1.5. And that will get you an answer that's in the correct bounds. Now we are talking about you dealing with real life issues and going into more detail with the volume. So it might be an idea that you get as accurate an answer as you possibly can, which would require you to do some more calculations. Because if we took this just as the shallow part of the pool, there's then the slope down and then there's the deep end part, and three-dimensionally you can draw this in the background, but this weird side is a problem. So you could work out the depth of the pool or the volume of the pool, including all the shallow water first. So that'd be your 1.25 here. And that will give you all as if it was a shallow pool the whole way down. That would be one answer. So if you got that, then you'd have to add, allow what's the depth of the water in the deep end. So there's like a block of the deep end. That's down here. Let's say this is our block of the deep end. How wide the deep end is, it's still 12.5 meters wide. How deep is that, just the deep end bit? So I'm referring to this bit. I'm just drawing it out here. How deep is it going to be? 1.8. No, this bit here.
Oh, that bit there.
It's the difference between the deep end and this.
0.55.
Yeah, I think a few people got it to be 0.55. That came up a few times. That difference between the deep end and the shallow end is 0.55. I can do that maths pretty, if Schlock doesn't believe me. 1.8 take away 1.25. I'm just doing it now. 1.8 is the deep end, take away the shallow end, we get 0.55. And that's...
Add 0.55.
Either way. Okay. So let's what am I doing? I've already taken into account as if it was a shallow pool the whole way down. And now I'm looking under the water at this block of water that I haven't accounted for below that. So that is an area we could get to. What is the length of that? It's not 25 meters. The deep end is how long?
6, 7.
It was 7 meters, I think. So that's 7 meters. So that would be that little block of water. Now what happens with this tricky block of water here?
A square and then half it.
Exactly. So we'd have to make it some sort of rectangular prism again, similar to this, 12.5, 0.55 depth. I think this one was 6 meters long. If you got the volume of this bit and cut it in two, it's going to be a perfect half, because it's just a slice right down here, then that would be the volume of that bit. So you could do this very large volume and these two smaller volumes to get a more accurate answer than just an average down. That takes into account that the shallow end is much longer than the deep end. The shallow end is 12 meters, whereas the deep end is 6 meters or 7 meters, and the slopey bit is 6 meters. Kiki.
After you already added figured all this amount,
Yeah, you would add the three volumes together. You want to put this shape back together. So remember, this bit I've drawn, this number 1 I've drawn here, and this number 2 I've drawn over here, and you cut it in two afterwards. You just get the volume of this. So multiply 3 things to get a volume, a length, a width, and a depth. Casper, what are you doing? Just close it. Okay. All right, so if you want to get into even more detail or talk about this in your accuracy section or limitations section, there are things that will affect the volume of the pool. Can anyone give me one? Casper, as Casper has hit my camera at least 5 times.